Welcome back, everybody, to another Destiny 2 build video. Today, we're going to be going over a Warlock build, which have been neglected the past couple of weeks here on my channel. Before we even get into that, I just want to say thank you to everybody who has supported the last two videos. The Hunter one just completely exploded, and I didn't even expect that. I had so much growth from that one video that it's really nice. I made that sub goal of 100 to get to the end of May, and we literally did it that week. That's insane to me. It's like the most viewed, most watched, most liked video on my channel, and it's really nice to see that that a video that I make can reach so many people and give people ideas to make their own build or to use that build and make it better and make it their own. Now, of course, like, subscribe, and comment on this video about what you want to see. Subscribe to see more. Like if you liked it. It helps me understand what people really want to see. Now today, like I said earlier, we're going over a Void Warlock build. Something that we haven't done yet this season with the new Void 3.0 stuff. But if you remember, if you've been here since like the very beginning a few months ago, it's gonna be kind of a spin on that original build. So it's gonna be that, but 3.0ified. So with that, let's get started with the class setup. Let's look at our aspects first. The first one we're going to look at is Feed the Void. Defeat a target with a Void ability to activate Devour. While Devour is active, Final Blows restore health and extend Devour. Now, to me, Devour is one of the best ways in the game to keep yourself alive, as well as, trying to promote a fairly aggressive, ad clear playstyle in order to keep your Devour active and keep getting your health back. Now, the second aspect that we're going to look at is going to be Child of the Old God. Cast your Rift to create a Void Soul. When you damage a target with a weapon, your Void Soul flies to them and drains them, doing damage and weakening them. When a target is being drained, you are granted grenade or melee energy when using a healing rift, or health when using an empowering rift. Defeating a target who is being drained by your Void Soul grants class ability energy. Now, besides having probably the coolest name in the game, this aspect is very over the top, powerful, and synergizes extremely well with this build. We will be running a healing rift so we can get back grenade and melee much quicker, which will feed into like the overall play of this build and the exotic that we're going to be using for this build. Now, our first fragment, Echo of Expulsion. Void ability Final Blows cause targets to explode. It gives you plus 10 intellect. The intellect bump is very nice, and since we're going to be throwing a lot of like grenades and abilities, we're going to get a lot of explosions that are going to help feed Devour, especially with one of the weapons we're using. So, it's just going to help add clearing and just all that good stuff in general. The second one is Echo of Reprisal. Final Blows when surrounded by combatants grant super energy. This is nice to have just in case you do get surrounded, so you can reap the benefits of getting your super back faster. After this season, we will trade this out for another one. I believe, I can't remember the name of it exactly, but we're going to trade it out for the one that grenade kills give your weapons volatile rounds. We don't need to use that this season because of one of our elemental well mods. Our third fragment is going to be Echo of Undermining. Your grenades weaken targets, and you get a minus 20 to discipline. The minus 20 to discipline isn't really noticed too much in this build because of how it's set up. You're going to get grenade energy back from your Child of the Old Gods, and you're going to get it back from another thing that's at the end of the video. So, you can get a lot of weakened debuffs spread around with whatever grenade you want to use. And finally, we have Echo of Persistence. Void buffs, which are Invisibility, Overshield, and Devour, have increased duration, minus 10 recovery. Minus 10 recovery obviously affects your Rift, but that's okay. You're still going to get energy back between Child of the Old Gods and the exotic we're going to be using. And this will give you more time to, reset your Devour timer, and it will allow you to have it longer, which is also going to help with another mod later on towards like the middle of the video. That's going to be really helpful for throwing out some damage towards just larger targets or just groups of ads in general. So now, let's move on to the armor and the mods that we're going to be using to really push this build to its limits. Alright, first things first, let's look at the boring stuff. We're going to look at the chest plate first, and we're going to put thermal shock plating on that, which reduces incoming solar and arc damage. This is a fantastic 2-for-1, resistance type of mod. It allows you to resist 3 elemental damage types at once, whether it be, arc, solar, and void, or arc, solar, and stasis. Really good. I recommend this the whole way through. It's cheap, goes on anything, it's great. And second thing on the chest plate is Volatile Flow. Picking up a Void Elemental Well grants your Void weapons Volatile round. Extremely, extremely strong mod, allowing for Void weapons to do a significant amount of damage, as well as a significant amount of ad clear with the Volatile Explosions. Again, another really good mod this season. And then we're going to look at the legs. We're going to put Absolution. Reduce all ability cooldowns each time you pick an Orb of Power. This will allow us to play into our abilities even further than what we already have between Child of the Old Gods and the exotic we're going to be using. The next thing we're going to look at is Better Already. Your health begins to regenerate immediately after picking up an Orb of Power. This is useful for when you don't have Devour active. It's kind of a contingency plan behind not having Devour, and this will allow you to keep your health up. And then finally, we're going to look at Well of Tenacity. Picking up a Void Elemental Well reduces the damage you take from combatants for a short period of time. This is a 50% damage reduction when this is active. Very, very nice, helping you stay alive in situations where you have those Void Elemental Wells. And the point of this build is to always have some sort of Void Elemental Well on the ground, or always have the ability to make a Void Elemental Well. So on the arms, we're going to rock Grenade Kickstart. When your grenade is fully expended, you gain grenade energy back. Now, we're looking to throw a lot of grenades here, just because we can, honestly. Between Child of the Old Gods, Grenade Kickstart, the exotic helmet we're going to use, everything is going to be giving you that grenade back faster. So you know what? We may as well, alleviate that even further with Grenade Kickstart. Now, obviously, if you don't want to use Grenade Kickstart, if you're using like high-end activity and you need to put champ mods on, sacrifice the Grenade Kickstart. Always, always champ mods. They're the most important thing for people who just can't deal with champs efficiently. Just makes the game a lot easier. And then we're going to look at Elemental Ordnance. Defeating combatants with a grenade spawns an Elemental Well matching your subclass energy type. Since we're looking to throw grenades a lot, we may as well make Void Wells at the same time in order to get, tenacity working and just be able to get Volatile Flow, at a constant, steady pace, therefore in which you'll be able to proc Devour more often and all that other good stuff. Now, when we look at the bond, there is Lucent Finisher. Defeating a Lucent Hive Lightbearer or a champion spawns a heavy ammo brick for you and your allies. I've said this in my last 2 videos. This mod is probably the best utility mod in the game currently, and everyone should run it if they have the space for it. Just the ability to make ammo for you and your entire team by defeating a Hive Lightbearer or a champion, which we have a lot of in endgame content, getting heavy ammo for that just means that you can just throw heavy constantly. It's really, really nice. I don't take it off unless I absolutely need to. We're also going to look at Devouring Depths, which is something I haven't covered yet. Casting your Void Super while you are critically wounded or benefiting from Devour increases your damage with that super. Since we will be benefiting from Devour pretty much all the time, we are almost always going to be guaranteed that bonus damage for our Nova Bomb, which is why we're going to, run Cataclysm. It tracks them. It's almost guaranteed damage, and now it's going to be guaranteed more damage when you have Devour proc. It's really nice. It's really, really, it's a lot easier to use than if it was just one critically wounded like some of the other ones in the past have been. Finally, for the bond, we're going to look at Font of Might. Picking up an Elemental Well that matches your subclass energy grants a temporary bonus to weapon damage of the same element type. This is a free 25% bonus for weapons when you're using, when a void weapon. So, if you want those free 25%, take it. You're going to be making void wells all the time with the grenade or elemental ordnance and the reaping wellmaker, which we're going to go over here in a second. You're always going to have a void well on the ground if you can cycle through your stuff appropriately, allowing you for almost to always have that free 25% weapon damage. Finally, we're going to look at our helmet, and the helmet we're going to be using is Nezarec Sin, comes with the exotic perk Abyssal Extractor. Void damage kills, increase ability energy recharge rate. This exotic helmet makes this build so over the top and very, very powerful. We'll be using a void weapon, which will feed into the exotic perk, which will then feed into our Void abilities, which will feed back into our Elemental Well, as well as Devour. You know, you can get a weapon kill, it'll activate Abyssal Extractors. You get a grenade kill, it will activate Abyssal Extractors. And then you can get, you know, melee kills, activates it. As long as it is a void kill, you're going to be proccing this perk. We're going to look at Harmonic Siphon as well. Rapid final blows with damage matching your subclass type create an orb of power. I still absolutely despise this way of orb making. But by using a void weapon, we will now be able to feed the leg mods and our super much quicker in order to, you know, benefit from them even further. And then finally, Reaping Wellmaker. After activating your class ability, your next weapon final blow on a combatant spawns a void elemental well. Honestly, I found this to be just a touch overkill when it came to spawning elemental wells, only because, you know, our recharge rate on our grenade is really high, between Nezarec Sins and just, you know, however high you can get your natural discipline to. You know, I found it to be a touch overkill at times, but in the situations where I didn't have a grenade, like, you know, if we went from combat, the end of a combat, and, you know, I didn't kill enough things to get that grenade back, throwing down a rift real fast, to proc your Child of the Old Gods Void Soul, and now you can then get a Void Elemental Well, which will then give you tenacity. And a lot of people forget this, but Void, you know, Elemental Wells, if you're matching the subclass type, they will give you energy back for all three of your abilities. So by picking up one of those Elemental Wells, we're going to get Grenade, Melee, and Rift energy back from just picking it up, which is really, really nice. Now, weapons we want to look at to, you know, try to synergize with this build even further. Of course, Funnel Web, like the only SMG anybody ever talks about. It's void. It works well with Pointed Inquiry, which is the Throne World Scout Rifle, which comes with some really cool perks. Corrective Measures, the Machine Gun from Vault of Glass, which can roll Demo and Adrenaline Junkie, which is what mine has, and it's really good. Red Herring, the Rocket Launcher from the Throne World, really, really good. And then two exotics we're going to talk about. Graviton Lance. The reason this is on this list, even though I don't like its burst style, is it's void. I got a 40% buff, and its explosions got a 40% buff. So, you know, if you can find a group of enemies, get one kill, then all the other things are going to die. You're going to proc Abyssal Extractors. And then Deathbringer. Deathbringer is the most underrated rocket launcher in the game because of the way it works, and it's not very easy to use. However, with Font of Might and its Dark Depths Catalyst, it hits for a lot of damage. So, with that all being said, with a very winded, very fast-talking, you know, me, because I just want to get this done, because it's been another one of those days where it's late, and I've been trying to do this all day. I hope you enjoy this video. I hope that you can take recommendations from it and try to put it into some working of your own way that you want it to work in your head, whether you want to be more focused on melee, more focused towards weapon kills. You know, use it for however you want to use it. So with that being said, I hope everybody enjoys. I hope everybody can take inspiration. Like the video if you liked it. Comment what you want to see. Subscribe if you want to see more. And another thing that really helps me grow is if you can share this to your friends who are trying to get into Destiny or really want a good, solid build for their classes. So, I hope everybody has a good week. Have fun with the Iron Banner. Get your weapons. And have, you know, just have a good